Let's go to the federal member for Page, I should say, Kevin Hogan. Kevin, before we get to how things are going in your electorate, what do you make of this state federal handout here that we just talked about?
Pete, look, it's a great initiative because, as you alluded to there, if something was damaged in a natural disaster, you had to build back like for like. So you had to build a bridge back at the same height that it was previously, or the approaches, or by the same type of material. You couldn't improve or make it more flood resilient, e.g. make the bridge higher. So with this announcement, you can do that. You can make it better than it was. And obviously the money that's now been allocated to projects is great news.
Yeah. OK, we're almost 12 months on, so tomorrow is the anniversary, the first anniversary of the flooding from last year. How are things on the ground, Kevin?
Pete, we're still in a world of pain, and to give you sort of some reality on that, I mean, businesses that are back are less than half, so less than half of the businesses that were operating today last year have reopened. So that's very sad. If you were to walk the CBD of Lismore, there's a lot of businesses still with, boards up on the windows, etc. It's a worse story with houses. So I would say 2 out of 10 maybe houses are probably back and living in their house in some semblance of normality. And we're talking thousands of houses, Pete. This is like 3,000 to 4,000 houses had water in them. So we're talking thousands of houses and probably close to 10,000 people who are not living anywhere near in the conditions they were 12 months ago. So we are still, this is a long journey and we are still in a world of pain.
So where are they staying, and if they don't have a home, presumably they can't rent either because houses are out of action. Where are people staying? Where are people showering? Where are like basic amenities? Where are people going to bathrooms and what have you?
So a lot of people, people have left the region.
Yeah.
We have a lot of people who I'd say are camping in their houses. So what they've done is they've got the hot water on, they've got electricity. So they're sort of semi-camping in their household. Some are still in caravans and sort of camping around the place or staying with friends and family. And there have been some pods set up. So they're like, Donga sort of mining village type accommodation. There's thousands of people in there as well. So there's a mixture. But Pete, this is a long journey. It's going to be years before people are back into the houses that they need or the quality of housing that they need. It's a very, very long journey and quite traumatic.
What about that idea, though, that concept that you just mentioned there, camping in your homes? That's extraordinary, isn't it?
Well, it is. And Pete, the other journey that we're on, and I think in some ways we're a long way behind it physically, is the mental health journey. People are quite traumatised here. You've got 10,000 people or so who nearly drowned that day. And there's lots of individual stories like that. You've had people who went out the boaties, the Tinny Army, who were having a medal presentation to them tomorrow afternoon, who are traumatised themselves. Some of them are friends of mine. They're still having nightmares. So we have a long mental health journey. That's been delayed because people are busy. People are trying to get back their business back. They're trying to get back into their homes. So the mental health journey will be a longer one, but it's still a big journey that we have to undertake because, again, I unfortunately remind everyone, this is the biggest natural disaster in Australia's history. The intensity of damage is up there with Cyclone Tracy, and the Insurance Council of Australia saying this is the worst natural disaster in Australia's history. So we've got a long journey, Pete.
So is that a good enough excuse for the speed of buybacks? Because 6,500 applications have so far been submitted to the Northern Rivers Reconstruction Corp. That's for buybacks. Just 250 formal offers by the end of April. I mean, that's some serious snail pace there.
Look, it's not quick enough and it's not acceptable. And I say that and appreciate the enormity of the job. Like when people talk about Grantham in Queensland, that was 130 houses. Here we're talking about nearly 3,000 or 6,000 houses will qualify under some sort of package. So it's an enormous job, but it's been snail's pace. I always say the bureaucrats need to be operating at the pace as if it was their mum and dad that weren't in their houses, and they're not. Now, what's going to happen is because it's so slow, this house swap buyback offer, I don't think a lot of people will take it up, Pete. For two reasons. One, if you've sold your house, the new owner doesn't qualify, and some people are just saying, I'm out. And the other thing is people are now starting to say, this is too slow. I actually need to put money back into my home because I'm living there and I need to have it at a standard that I can actually live there. So a lot of people are putting money back into their homes. So they're not going to even apply for this buyback. So that's not going to work. So the big issue in this town and the big issue in this wider region is going to be flood mitigation. And that will be the CSIRO study that's announced next year. And we have to do serious flood mitigation.
So that house and land buyback scheme, is that a failure?
Well, they're assuming a certain percentage take-up. I think they're hoping around 70 or 80% of people will take it up, and then they'll see what they do with the rest. I think they're dreaming. I think that they'll get lucky to get 50%. I don't think they've modelled that well, and I think the slow rollout of it means that they will not get the take-up that they want. Because what they want to do, and we get the philosophy, they want to move people off the floodplain in Lismore. But because they're taking so long, I don't think they're going to get that take-up. So I don't think they're going to get anywhere near the numbers they want.